Hello scrappy friends, today I am going to make a mixed media layout for the April Lilli design team, and I'm showing you here what I'm going to use. I'm going to try some mixed media with stenciling and the packaging technique. I plan on using these washi tapes and the die cuts, as well as some pieces that I fuzzy cut, like this one and this one, from that sheet pattern paper that you see below here. Then I have this glassine bag and enamel dots, this pattern paper, and this one here is going to be my background. It is very light blue with this, it looks like a chain of dots in different sizes. And I have already prepared my background with gesso, and I said before that I wanted to use a stencil. I swapped it out. I opted for the star one, and now I'm just rubbing the paint. I think it's paint. I don't think it's texture paste, even though it has a little bit of structure to it. I'm just scratching the paint, rubbing the paint through the stencil using a card. It's a German customer card from a store that I don't no longer go to, right? So I can use it here. Yeah, and since the photo is going to be in the middle and covering the middle up, I don't need to make sure that the stars are going to be there. Now I'm putting the layout aside and I am going to create some layers behind the photos and using this glassine bag and the pattern papers and the die cuts that I pulled. And as you can see, I have cut myself in my thumb and I use this cute band-aid from Inside Out, and I really love it. The movie and the band-aid, not the cut. Yes, and I'm ripping my paper, and I have come to find out that I really like ripped layers much better than cut layers. Maybe there will be a time when I come to appreciate cut layers, but I really like the untidy feel actually this gives to the layout. I really like that, and I wouldn't have thought that it made such a big difference if you cut or rip your paper, but it does. I made another layout where I cut the layers and it looks, in my opinion, it looks very different. So now I'm just trying to find out where to place the different die cuts and yeah, just putting them down and getting a feel for where I want to have them later on the layout. I will not end up using all of these, but actually I really like that. But yeah, you can see in the end I'm not going to use them all, but that's a nice try. And then I stopped the video to take a photo so that I can later on remember, but I forget that when I'm filming that I cannot take a look at this photo. So the paint is dry, and now I'm going to use these sprays. Well, actually I think I'm only going to use two different colors and add some water to dilute the color a little bit, and then I'm going to add the color using the packaging technique. And I guess you have already heard about this technique everywhere on YouTube, on the internet. If you do not know what it is, you just take some packaging, add your color, dilute it with some water if it's not moist or diluted enough, and then you slap it onto the paper where you want it. And you need to make sure that you know that there's a difference between if you coat your background with gesso or if you put it directly onto your background. It makes a big difference. So maybe you just take some scrap pieces of paper and try it out before. And now I'm using this really dark blue color, and I didn't really like the way it looked, and so I dabbed it up with my paper towel. And then I'm splattering some dark paint mist on, and then I went and grabbed brown mists because blue and brown are the only mist colors I have. I have about 3 or 4 mists, and I think I want to have some brown colors on the bottom of the layout or the picture, because I plan on adding some brown bits there. And yeah, both colors are not the right brown colors I want. And so this is how, as far as I go with this. I don't want to have this really dark and ugly brown there. So it's going to be covered up almost completely, but the bits that are showing through from behind really look good. So it was it was okay that I added it, even though I might not look really that great without the layers put on top. So now let's go back and get this thing sorted out again. I'm just adding some adhesive to the middle of the layers, and then I'm just putting it down on top of them, and then I'm just adding glue to each of the die cuts and stick them in where I thought they might go. And this takes a while, but it's not really, I could have done that before, but I didn't think of that. And yeah, so now I'm putting it where it's supposed to go, and I'm just committing and not thinking too much about um, if this is the perfect place for it. I like it there, I'll stick it down. And there is, in the picture, there is a pine cone right in front of that glass with a candle inside, and I do not want to cover that pine cone up, because that's actually the why I put so many pine cones onto that layout, is because there is one in the photo. So I want to make sure that I do not cover it up. Yeah, and so I fuzz a little with that specific corner here, but I think I find a good solution for what it's supposed to look like in the end. And I decide that I do not like the pine cone with the wide edges, so I put that aside, and I'll just stick this one down there. And then I'm adding back in the heart and the flower, and in the final layout you will see that in the beginning the flower was much further down, but I don't think that it matters. So now let's think about the title. No, I saw that border sticker and I really liked the brown and the dark brown down there. It just helped the whole layers pop off there, and I thought, oh yeah, when I start gluing this down, this is going to go there. Now I add that pine cone. Finally, I'm committing to it, and then I am going to audition letter stickers, and I am thinking about these teal ones, but actually the teal is very far off from the color scheme of the layout. At least that's what I think in the beginning. So I'm going to try these corrugated cardstock stickers, but yeah, they are okay, but somehow they just don't pop, they are okay. So then I'm taking the teal alphabet stickers just to see a comparison, and I decide that I really like them much better, and that they actually really work very well on this layout. Even though the color is a little bit off, it, yeah, it makes this layout look great in the end. That's what I think, at least. And then I remember that I wanted to use the washi tape, and so I'll just add it similar to the paper layers on some places where I want them, or enamel dots, maybe like that, or paint splatters. And I really like um, yeah, what they add to this layout. I'm really totally in love with this layout, and it didn't really take that long. I just didn't think too much about it. I just went with it and committed, and well, if it doesn't work out, I can just rip it up and start over again, right? Or, I mean, I don't have to have the prettiest layout. Well, I think it is the prettiest layout, but I want the title to be grounded somehow, and I think it works in the end. But in the beginning, or when I place the letter stickers down there, it looks like they are swimming, floating in the air. Now I'm just adding some fun foam, and I still have some of the expensive fun foam left. I really need to go and check out our Walmart to find out if they have that cheap fun foam everybody is talking about in their YouTube videos. But since I still have this left, I am going to use it. And I'm just adding it in some places so that it doesn't go flat on me. And what kind of glue are you using for your fun foam? Because this actually didn't really stick very well. I had to put something on top of it. Yeah, and I'm making sure that the die cuts do not hang over the layout, and then I'm just adding glue and sticking it down. I am going to add that brown border sticker that I put aside earlier, and now you can see what I'm talking about. I really think this is an essential part of this layout. I'm so glad I found that border sticker, and the title is not floating as I thought in the beginning. I think the border sticker and the fact that the embellishments are making this dipping down and incorporating the title into the whole cluster, or yeah, this, what do you call it, thing? No, the main area. It looks just like an upside down shelf. It's kind of, right? Or the title is the shelf for the whole thing. No, that's not what I want to look at it, how I want to look at it, because it's not sitting on top of it. It's more like the title is dangling down from the top. And then I'm adding the journaling. I'm really lucky because there are some lines due to the dots, and I'm underlining my journaling, and then the layout is finished, and I have some photos and still shots in the end. The only thing that I added after the fact were enamel dots, because remember, I am an enamel dot hoarder and I always forget to use them, and so I saw the package there laying there, and then I added them when I took the photos. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is actually my second process video for a scrapbooking layout. So yeah, please tell me what you liked. Please tell me what you didn't like. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of these kinds of videos. And yeah, give me a thumbs up. Bye!